London is in town. I'm here with director Colin Rothbart from Dress Like a Girl. He's going to tell us about the film, which is premiering today at 4, isn't it?
It is. It's our US premiere today. It's been out in the UK and in Europe for a year now, but we're very, very excited that World of Wonder has brought us over here. They've been big supporters, and so thank you very much to them. And yeah, we just wanted to document the amazing alternative drag scene in the UK. So when I was on holiday about 7 years ago with Holestar in India, we just thought we want to do like a British version of Paris is Burning, but obviously it's a very different film because it's not about, the late 80s ball scene in Harlem. This is about the scene in East London, which is like quite a particular sort of like alternative drag where people do things like they do their own material with a particular sense of humour. And I was filming them for 6 years really, and it took a long time for them to actually open up. Everyone wanted to film their performances first of all, but they didn't necessarily want to talk about what makes them tick as people. But I was determined to get that out of them, and hopefully when you see the film you'll see that and you'll hopefully fall in love with them all as well.
What got you into drag? Will you share with us?
Yeah, I was living in Vienna at the time, and I saw a lot of really bad drag queens, and I thought I can do that. And someone said to me, "You can't." Well, people.
Amazing. Can we get a shot?
Thank you very much. And people said to me, "You can't do drag because you're a woman," and I'm like, "Well, why is that going to stop me?" And I just wanted to take all the fabulousness that the drag queens kept going, and celebrate it on the female body. And this was 13 years ago. I'm still going. And last year I won Best Drag Act at the London Cabaret Awards, which annoyed a lot of drag queens because they're like, she's a woman. It's like, but I'm a tomboy under all this. I know I ever had a drag mother. I had to learn on my own, so.
We should be an all-in-housing, embracing community, right? Yes, absolutely. And I love that your film is showing that.
What's in my pants or anyone's pants has got it's no one else's business. So gender shouldn't come into it. Drag is an art form and that should be celebrated. Whatever's in your pants, it's someone else's business.
I love it. Well, Sherry will be back with some more of the cast members. Stay tuned.
So tell me about being an independent film maker. How did you get the funding for this?
Oh my gosh, it's been a nightmare. I work in television full time to fund this. So they always say to make an independent film, you've got to be independently wealthy. So I'm not independently wealthy despite the way I speak. But I do have access to a lot of equipment. You'll be pleased to know. So I had I had a camera, and I just thought, you know what? I'm going to do this in my spare time, which is why the documentary took 6 years to make actually, which is a good thing because then the longer you film for, the more things happen. So we've been able to film like Amber having her full transition. She's now like a biological woman, and more things happen in the other characters' lives. So we had like Jonny Woo giving up alcohol and drugs, whereas like for nearly 3/4 of the film was very much on them. And yeah, I just think that was a luxury that we had. But when it comes to raising money, I funded a lot of it myself, and then we did a Kickstarter campaign actually to pay for the offline edit, and we got about $30,000. So that paid for the first cut of the film, which we showed at Sheffield Documentary Festival in the UK, and that was when World of Wonder came and they saw it and they got very much behind it, and they said, well, we'll pay for the online and as a sort of deferred payment. So last year I came out to LA for a month and then supervised the online, and then Fenton and Rudy have been very much behind it, and Randy, and that's why we're here today. So yeah, they flew us out here, so it's great.
I'm so excited that because of all the work RuPaul has done over the years, making drag welcome in people's homes,
Yes.
It just feels more like normal, because a lot of people when I was growing up in Iowa looked at it and they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think in the UK, obviously, we all remember RuPaul when he did that song with Elton John. So, and that's probably a lot of people's exposure to drag. But we've got a huge history of drag in the UK as well. I mean, the title of the film, Dress as a Girl, is supposedly from what Shakespeare said, which is like when he wrote in the margins, dress as a girl because women weren't allowed to act. So we've also had like very sort of like camp comics on television, always wearing in drag. We've got like pantomime dames. So it's very much been embraced. I think probably more so in the UK actually than in the States, which I think has been a lot more recent. So. And I think we do things a little bit differently. When you look at sort of a lot of the queens on RuPaul's Drag Race, they're very polished. They're very, they look amazing. I'm not saying that ours don't look amazing. Got to be careful what I say. But they do things with like a sort of like a sense of humour. They fall all over the place sometimes as well. But they also do a lot of their own material. and they sort of like take what they do with a pinch of salt, and they open up, and I think they're very honest, and that's what a lot of British people are. They do things with a sort of like a British twist, a sense of humour, and they're quite self-effacing.
Yes, I've noticed that your drag looks a little bit different than American drag.
Yeah. I think that, obviously you've got someone like Holestar, who is a biological woman. She looks very polished, but you look at someone like John, I'm not saying he's not polished, but he's obviously a bit more coquettish, I suppose, in that he's kept his moustache, and he's sort of like, just running all over. He's a bit more, it's sort of like messy, fun drag, isn't it? Rather than thinking, I'm going to spend ages doing my eyelashes. He'll spend, 25 minutes in the toilet while he's drinking a bottle of Prosecco at the same time, but has loads of fun. And I think that's the whole point, that drag is fun. And I think, British drag is very fun.
Well, I am so looking forward to seeing the documentary tonight. Now, for those who are not at DragCon, how can they find you online?
They can go to our website, which is www.dragmovie.com, and that's where you can buy all our lovely merchandise as well, like these T-shirts that we're wearing. Nothing like a bit of cheap sex. Our catchphrase for the film, high hopes, high heels, high drama. I'm no effing angel. I don't know if you can swear on your thing. Don't do drugs, stick to drag. And we also have the film, it's available on iTunes, and the soundtrack. We've gone merchandise crazy, and we need to get rid of it. We can't take it back to England. So please buy it on the website.
Yes,
And DVD. On Amazon as well, actually.
let's all become dressed as a girl.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing this to us.
Thank you for having me.
Back with the rest of the cast. Hello. Hi, girls. Tell us your name.
I'm John Sizzle.
My name is Amber Waze, all the way from London town.
AKA Dress Miss Naughty.
I am loving that outfit. It is so sexy.
Baby,
oh my
you
gosh.
have got good taste.
It's not an outfit, this is a tattoo. There's a difference.
I love that. I might have to copy you. Tell us about your role in the film.
Well, the film is literally, it's been following us for 6 years now.
It's a documentary.
It's a documentary. It's been following us for 6 years. It's all our highs and lows. Myself personally, I went through a whole transition during the film as well, going from A to B, which is documented very beautifully and very graphically in the film. So that's pretty much my part in the film. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And my story arc involves me complaining about getting older, probably drinking too much, and just complaining loads.
My same problem.
Just complaining, generally, and being fabulous and, ethereal.
I love that we follow your transition because it's such a big subject now, especially with Caitlyn Jenner considering the transition, which is great. I know a lot of friends personally who are considering it, and it's a journey.
It absolutely is. And when Colin, the director of the film, came up to me 6 years ago and said, Amber, we'd really like you to be involved in the film. It wasn't so much as a performer, which I am as well. I do rapping and stuff and singing. I do. I've just been.
Rap for us a little bit, please?
I will sing you a little line of my song.
Presents in Macy's, not.
I'll give you one of the hooks of my song.
Okay.
I only wear fake Chanel, only do anal with Cristal, and when I'm in the mood for fucking you, better get a 10-star hotel. And if you shit this bitch gonna yell, Ticket come and send you right back to hell. Hit your boys and tell them you're not so ill. Call the paps and it's good to kiss, and it's a work it.
Woo! That was amazing. Thank you so much. Cherry, you have some thoughts?
So what was your inspiration for your style? I mean, I love that you've embraced your sexuality. I wish I wasn't so uptight.
Do you know what? Back home in London, we all like to show off our curves and work with what you got.
I love it.
This actual outfit is a very good friend of mine called Pam Hogg. She's an amazing London-based designer, a legendary designer, and she was like, Amber, I'll give you something, but make sure you know how to work it in LA.
Well, you are working at it. It looks fabulous.
So much. I cannot breathe. I've not been able to breathe for the past 6 hours. I'm turning blue, but all is
And
good.
it's cutting the oxygen out of her, from her brain, as you can probably tell.
Oh, thank you guys so much for this
You're
interview.
welcome.
I'm so
You're
excited
welcome.
to watch the film.
You're welcome.
Where do we download the film? Where do we buy it?
You can get our film, download it on iTunes, dressedasagirl.com
Buy
is
it on
one
Amazon
of our
if
tags.
you want a hard copy. Use your story.
Drag movie is another one of our tags. And remember, children, don't do drugs, stick to drag.
And you can buy the soundtrack, which we're very excited
The
about.
original soundtrack. I'm rapping on there. Got a couple of tracks on there. My name is Amber Waze. You can tag me and get me on dragmovie.com, and I'm in the process of making a brand new London-based album.
I'm going right now.